E3 is coming up and we haven't heard much from Playtonic Games. Daily Con Johnson, the engagement director of Playtonic Games, has said that she's been hinting the game right under our noses, but we currently have no idea what is in store for us despite looking for it. However, we might soon find out what Playtonic is planning at E3. Team 17, Playtonic's publisher, has said that they will be releasing 2 new games this week. In their article, Team 17 also states you can find a couple of cryptic clues to the identity of these games in the image above. The image is a picture of the Team 17 logo, but there are 2 different textures on the number 17. Since then, Team 17 has announced one new game called Blasphemous, which is developed by a company called The Game Kitchen. Currently, they have not confirmed the second game's identity, but if we go back to the image, we can see that they have given us a clue. The texture on the right side of the 7 looks like something that would come from the Blasphemous main character's armor or something similar in the game. The rest of the texture looks quite familiar. If you look closely, you can see yellow honeycombs. This could be hinting towards the sequel for Yooka-Laylee, as honeycombs in the game represent Hivory Towers and capital B. Unless this is a new game that Team 17 is releasing, this is very likely a clue that Yooka-Laylee Sequel will be announced. If this were the case, we would guess that Playtonic and Team 17 will be announcing the sequel any time now before E3 starts. The reason why we think the sequel will be announced before E3 is because Team 17 stated last Friday on May 31st that they would be announcing 2 brand new games in the following week. Just yesterday, on Tuesday, June 4th, Team 17 announced Blasphemous, which means that the Yooka-Laylee sequel will be announced this week right before E3 starts. Another piece of evidence that points to the Yooka-Laylee sequel being announced right before E3 rather than during E3 is from 2016. Before E3 in 2016 started, Playtonic Games suddenly released their first major trailer in a long time, 8 days before E3. After that, Grant Kirkhope, one of the 3 composers of Yooka-Laylee, and Steve Mills, the character art director at Playtonic Games, went to E3 for interviews and then showed off the Yooka-Laylee toy box demo. If Playtonic follows a similar pattern this year, then that would mean that they will be releasing a new trailer for the Yooka-Laylee sequel this week as well, since E3 is next week. Keep in mind, however, that those honeycombs on Team 17's logo could be pointing to a completely new game series or something else. If Playtonic does have a new game, we would think that Playtonic would be tweeting out hints by now, but they have just been giving out weekly giveaways and sharing random tweets and fan art lately. But if Playtonic gives us their cryptic googly eye tweet in the next few days, we can be sure that Playtonic has something exciting planned for us. What's strange, however, that leaves some people questioning, what will happen to the secret Inept hint in Galleon Galaxy? Since every major Yooka-Laylee update, Inept has increased the loading percent from 51% to 75%, then to 98% recently during the 64-bit Tonic update. Playtonic has mentioned during the Reddit AMA on December 7, 2017 that Inept will have something to do with the DLC. Will the DLC for Yooka-Laylee still be released alongside the sequel, or will Inept just give us information about the DLC? What about the orchestral soundtrack? Since the Reddit AMA from Playtonic, we have heard nothing about the orchestral soundtrack. Will the soundtrack also be released alongside the Yooka-Laylee sequel? On top of this, the 64-bit tonic for Yooka-Laylee is still not released for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Will they still be released sometime in the future during the Yooka-Laylee sequel? Or will the 64-bit tonic for those consoles be announced alongside the Yooka-Laylee sequel's announcement? Maybe Playtonic Games still has more planned for the first Yooka-Laylee game and we won't be getting a Yooka-Laylee sequel for a while. While the Team 17 image heavily hints towards a Yooka-Laylee sequel, there are quite still a few promises that Playtonic Games has not yet fulfilled. Will we be getting a Yooka-Laylee sequel after all and those promises will be abandoned or developed alongside the sequel? Or will we still not be getting a Yooka-Laylee sequel for quite some time? Let us know about what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you're subscribed to the Hivory Hub for more on everything Playtonic. Have an incredible day, guys. Bye. Also, fingers crossed for Banjo being in Smash.